Hello, I'm Maria. I'm going to share with you a 30-minute yoga practice. It's all about spinal mobility and relaxation. I hope you enjoy it. So find yourself somewhere comfortable and quiet, where no one's going to disturb you. We're going to lie down on our mats. And if you've got a bit of a stiff neck, you might find it comfortable to put a pillow or a towel under your head, because I want you to be nice and comfortable for this practice. Feet hip width apart to start with. We're just going to tune into the body and the breath. So maybe close your eyes and just breathe in and out, nice and gently and slowly. See if you can slow your breath down. See if you can breathe in through the nose and maybe even out through the nose, or if not, then out through the mouth. And just notice where in your body that you might be holding some tension. It might be in your jaw. It might be in your neck, your shoulders, maybe your lower back, or your pelvis, or your tummy. And see if you can take your breath there and let it relax. Use your out breath to let go of those tight muscles. If you're someone who finds it hard to relax, just use this as your practice, your first step to learning how to relax. No one said it was going to be easy, but it's just about practicing, just as you practice anything else, if you want to get good at it. And we're just going to gently take our knees from side to side. Gently breathing in and gently breathing out. Just mobilising the hip and the lower back. Then bring the legs back to where they were and just bring the right knee into the chest. Breathing into the lower back. And as you breathe out, let go of any tension there. Breathing into the lower back. And as you breathe out, let go of any tension there. And then circling the ankle, slowly in one direction and slowly in the other direction. And release it down, switch legs. Bring the left knee in, breathe into the lower back, breathe out, let go. Breathe into the lower back, breathe out, let go. And just start to circle the ankle in one direction and then in the other direction. And then release that leg down to the floor. We're going to stretch the legs out long now. With the toes pointing up to the ceiling, we're going to press each heel away. And as you do so, you find that your hips will also seesaw with, I'm just going to move up my mat a little, that's it. Your hips are going to seesaw with the legs. And then you might want to stretch the arms overhead. And as one leg gets a bit longer than the other, you're also stretching the corresponding arm to get this nice big whole body stretch on either side. Nice. And then bringing the hands back down alongside you, bending the knees. We're going to come into some pelvic tilts. So we're going to arch the back away from the floor and tip it towards the floor. Arch away and tip towards the floor. Now if you've got quite a stiff back, you might find this a little tricky, but keep practicing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We're just mobilising the lower back. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one, breathe in. As you tip back, keep the lower back in contact with the floor. Press into the feet, lift your bum cheeks up and start to roll through the spine, coming all the way up to your shoulder blades if you can. Stay there, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, start to roll back down, one vertebrae at a time, till the lower back comes down last. And repeat by arching the back, breathe in, breathe out, tip towards the floor, start to roll, press through the feet to support your body as you roll up. Breathing in at the top and then breathing slowly out as you come back down. And then just notice where your back feels a little bit sticky, where it doesn't want to move each of those vertebrae independently. And see if you can start to move them, to get them to move. So press each one down towards the mat, one at a time. Nice. And release. And then we're going to bring both knees into the chest, or one at a time if that's more comfortable. And if you want to, you can have a little rock from side to side. Just massaging the soft tissue there at the lower back. And then if you wish to, you can rock up and down. If you don't want to, you can stay with the side to side rocks. You might want to bring your belly button gently in to support your lower back. And we're just massaging that soft tissue as we rock up and down. And then we all come into this position on our bum cheeks, and we're going to lift the bum cheeks away, so we're sat on your sit bones, sitting up nice and tall. Take the left hand onto the right knee, take the right hand behind you, breathe in and lengthen, breathe out as you rotate to the right through the rib cage, and then back to the center. So we're not just turning our heads, we're turning from the ribs. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind, sit up tall, breathe in. And as you breathe out, rotate. And come back once more. We're not moving the lower back, we're just moving through the ribs. Breathe in. As you rotate, breathe out. Switch sides, breathe in. As you rotate, breathe out. Back to the center. Left hand to the floor. Stretch the right arm up and over. Press the rib cage out to the side. Breathing in here and breathing out. Breathing in and gently out. Switch sides. Left arm up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press the rib cage out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press the rib cage out. And slowly release. We're going to come slowly and gently onto all fours. If your knees are a little bit tweaky, you could perhaps put some towels or cushions under your knees and see if you can come into this position. So hands are shoulder width apart, and we're just going to circle the hips in a nice big juicy movement with a little tuck under at the end point. Just feeling that freedom come into the hips. And then round in the other direction. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Then come back to the center. We're going to have a little bit of opening through the chest. So we're going to stretch the arm up and open the chest here. So we're not just lifting the arm up, we're opening, drawing the shoulder blade onto the back. And then we're going to thread through. And again, breathe in and stretch up. Breathe out as we thread through. Last one, breathe in, open the chest. Breathe out as we thread through. And then option to come down, head on the floor or onto a cushion, and stretch the left leg out and even the right arm up. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe, and release. Switching sides now. Open and thread through. Breathe in and breathe out. Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. And then if you want to, you can stay there, head on the floor or a cushion, arm in front, and breathe. And breathe. And gently release. We're going to come into child's pose, so our legs are wide. We're going to take the head onto the hands and have a little shift of the pelvis from side to side. Breathing in and out. And then gently we're going to come back onto all fours. And we're going to come into some cat-cow or some angry cat, happy cat to mobilise the spine a little bit more. So we're going to lift the head up, draw the shoulder blades together, arch the middle back, arch the lower back. And then we're going to bring the head down. We're going to round through the upper back, round to the middle back, and then the lower back, pushing it up towards the sky. And then reverse it by arching the lower back, the middle back, and then looking up. Now it's quite easy with this pose just to move, keep going, keep moving through, just to move the parts of the back that are already moving quite well, and the other parts that are quite stiff, just do what they've always done. So see if you can actively move the parts of your back that are stiff, get them to do a little bit more than they would do, because the body always takes the path of least resistance, right? So we want to get these joints, these vertebral joints moving. Just moving in your own time through. One more time. Dropping the head, rounding the shoulders, rounding the lower back, and then release. Coming back to where you were, and maybe just circling the hips once more just to free up the lower back a little bit more. Okay, we're going to come into a downward dog. So with downward dog, we don't want to have our arms rolling in like so. So if you're quite tight across your chest, you're going to have to actively roll the shoulders out to get into this pose. So roll the shoulders out. So when your hands are on the floor, you're going to have to turn the bicep forward so that the arm bone turns out, bone turns out. So you might feel that the inner elbow is coming forward, the biceps coming forward, and the arm bone is rolling out. So give that a go. The hands are pressing firmly into the mat because you want them to push you away up towards the ceiling. Tuck the toes, push the bum cheeks up, let the head relax, and then pedal the feet one at a time down towards the floor. One leg is straight, one is bent. Now, if you haven't done this before, it might be quite challenging and you might find it hard, so don't stay in it for too long. Come into child's pose for a rest. And you might find that your body is kind of here and it doesn't want to push up because your back is stiff. So just work on bending the knees and pushing the bum cheeks up. Okay, we're all going to come back down onto our knees, and then we're going to bend the elbows and slide the legs back, come into cobra pose for a stretch through the upper back. So we don't want to place any strain in the lower back here. So we want to press the pubic bone down towards the mat. Slide the bum cheeks towards the heels. Press the elbows down and then feel like you're lifting the rib cage forward and up. So the stretch comes through the upper back, not the lower back. Keep the chin down, breathe. Don't stay in it for too long, and then come back down and rest your head onto your hands. Have a little shift of your pelvis from side to side. So again, we don't want any strain into the lower back. So if you are getting strain into the lower back, you could stay lower, or just learn to press the pubic bone down a little more, slide the bum cheeks down, and slide the rib cage forward. Keep breathing. And then resting your head onto your hands again and having a little shift of the pelvis from side to side. We're just going to do a little bit of work now for the shoulder blades. So we're going to take the arms out in a letter T shape, head facing the floor. Keep the pubic bone pressed down and lift the torso, turning the thumbs to the back of the room. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and come back down. And again, lifting up in one movement, not very high. Turn the thumbs back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Come back down. Good. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in, lift. Turn the thumbs back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Come back down. Last one, lift. Turn the thumbs back, squeeze the shoulder blades. And come back down. Hands come alongside the rib cage. You can push back in onto all fours, or if you have the strength, you could push all the way back into a plank, and then we're going to come back into our downward dog. So push the floor away with your hands, push the bum cheeks up, pedal the feet and breathe. Pedal the feet and breathe. Nice. Okie dokie. So from our downward dog, we're going to walk forward to the front of our mat. We're going to let ourselves hang down here. Maybe have a little shift from side to side. And then we're going to bring our hands onto our thighs with a nice flat back. So the bottom's pointing to the back of the room. Your knees are slightly soft. And we're just going to bend and straighten those knees to stretch the hamstrings at the back of the leg. Keeping that back nice and flat. Stretching the hamstrings. Nice. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Good. Then we're going to come down and hang again. Bring the left hand between the legs. If it doesn't reach to the floor, you could put some books here to put your hand on. Bend the left knee and rotate to the right. Breathe. Breathe. Open the chest. And switch legs. Right knee bends. Rotate to the left. Breathe. And breathe. And gently release. And then we're going to step back with the right leg and we're going to come into a low lunge. Padding the knee as required. We're going to tuck under at the pelvis here and then just drift forward and back so that we feel the stretch coming into the hip. Keep the bottom muscle just gently firing to support the lower back as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Come back to the center. Rotate towards that knee and just have a gentle rotation towards the knee. Try and soften the shoulders. They're not up around your ears. And then hands come to the floor. We're going to push back into our downward dog. Pedal the feet once more. Let the head relax so we're not holding tension there. Breathe. Breathe. And then we're going to come into that low lunge on the other side. So tuck the tailbone, hands on hips, and just drift forward and back on the other side. Feeling the stretch in the hip. Feeling if it's different on this side. Is it tighter? Is it looser? Just tuning into your body and seeing how it feels. Good. Lovely. And then coming down onto, sitting on your bottom, we're going to tuck the toes under and have a toe stretch. So we're going to see if we can get even the pinky toe to contact the floor. Sit back on our heels here. Now, this might be quite hard for some people if your feet are tight and they're not very mobile. So maybe just try it for a very short amount of time. Breathe in and breathe out. It's a really good stretch for the toes. It's really important for the feet to get a little bit more movement into them so they're not stiff. So really help support our balance and our stability. Breathing in, breathing out, and release. Ooh, just give them a little bit of a bounce to relax them there. And then we're going to come once more into our downward dog. Press up and pedal the feet once more. Let the head shake. Maybe come all the way onto your tiptoes so you can push the bum cheeks high, 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 high. Good. And then rolling forward, we can either come down onto our knees, or you could come into a plank and then bend the elbows, come all the way down, hands in front of you. Press the pubic bone down again and get that nice lift up into cobra again. Coming to where you can come, not causing any strain into the lower back. And then release the head down. Shift the pelvis from side to side. And then just take the hands behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And you might want to stay here, or you might lift up the torso and hold and breathe. And hold. And gently release, pressing back to all fours, coming back into your child's pose again, stretching the arms in front of you this time, and just breathing here, shifting the pelvis from side to side. And then slowly coming up onto your bottom. We're going to take the legs wide, into a wide angle stretch. So just give the legs a little bit of a bounce, just to release the hamstrings. Just lift the sit bones away so you're onto the bones. Maybe sitting on a cushion if your back feels uncomfortable. And then just taking the arm up and over. And switch. Breathe in and breathe out. So we're just lengthening the muscles at the side of the back. You might not get very far, doesn't matter. Just breathe and breathe. Good. And release. Nice. And bringing the legs forward. We're going to roll down. So draw the tummy in and see if you can uncurl the spine. If you need help from your hands, you can use them, rolling all the way back down. And we're going to come into happy baby. So happy baby means you take the hand onto the outside of the foot, the elbows to the inside of the knee, and you just have a nice little rock here. If that's not comfortable for you, you could just come into this one again. So if you can get into happy baby, it's a really good groin stretch and back of leg stretch. Just having a little shift there from side to side and enjoying the stretch. Nice. And then releasing the legs. We're going to have a hip stretch. So we're going to take the right foot onto the left knee. Just let that knee drop out and release. If you want to increase the stretch, you could take the hands behind the left thigh and just let that knee drop out. If that's causing strain, you do the first version and just breathe. Just breathe. And then gently release, switch sides. So pick your version and breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Gently release. And it's time to come into the best bit of yoga, which is the Shavasana, the relaxation at the end. So make sure you're comfortable, make sure no one's going to disturb you. And if you know you find it hard to relax, this will be a great thing for you to practice. Maybe don't do it for very long, but see if you can do it even just for a minute or two. If you want to stop the video and do it for longer, you can do so. So we're just going to shift the knees from side to side just to loosen up the lower back. You can have your knees in this position, or you could have them just flopped out, the legs like so. Hands can be wherever you're comfortable to have them. Close your eyes or put something over your eyes if that's better for you. And just put some music on if that helps. And for some people it helps them relax when they tune into a sound. So it might be that you tune into the sounds that you can hear. You might hear birds, you might hear traffic. Just see what you can tune into. And just slowing the breath down again. Tuning in to where it feels tense or tight. See if you can soften the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Soften the muscles of the jaw. And the muscles of the shoulders. Taking your out breath to wherever feels tense or tight. Tuning into your body. And tuning out of your headspace. Softening the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, the jaw. The muscles around the edges of the eyes. The inner edges of the eyes. Maybe find yourself sinking down behind the eyes. Let the body be heavy. Pelvis heavy. The legs heavy. Just let go. And if thoughts pop into your head, just breathe them away on your next out breath. Breathe them away. And gently and slowly, we're going to make our way back. So we're going to start to wriggle the toes and the fingers. Gently bending one knee and then the other knee. And gently shifting them from side to side. When you're ready, just rolling onto one side and staying there for a moment. And then slowly press yourself up into a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed for a little bit longer if you can. Sitting up nice and tall from the base of your spine all the way to the top of your head. Bring your palms together and notice the sensation of the palms touching, the fingers touching. And then rubbing them vigorously together, creating a little bit of energy back to your body. Place them over your eyes, slowly opening your eyes. Bring your hands back down to your lap. Taking a nice breath in through the nose and a gentle sigh out. Thank you for joining me in this yoga practice. I hope you found it relaxing. See you soon.